Lindsay from Perfectly Bookish 5, and I'm going to walk through with you my Wild and Windy in the City book event prep. In 2024, I was fortunate enough to get a ticket for Wild and Windy in the City, which takes place in Chicago, and I am going to go through some of the things I do in the months leading up to the signing. This is taking place May 17th and 18th. There is a Facebook page if it's something that you are interested in. There is a resale ticket thread on the page. And right now you might not see a lot of people giving up the tickets, or well, not giving up, but try to resell the tickets for the event. But sometimes as the event gets closer, people need to sell their tickets for a load of different reasons, and there is the ticket thread on the Facebook page where you might get a chance to get a ticket. Now, this is the first year this event is trying something different. My friends have gone a few years. I believe, I want to say this is the 5th year that this event has been taking place. Don't quote me on that. I am not sure, but my friends have gone in the past. It's like an hour and a half away from where I live, so it's really nice and close. So in the previous years, what they did have like a 2-night event, I believe, but it ran a little differently, and then they sold tickets where you could buy them just to get into the signing. If you had the bigger ticket tier, you got in, let's say at 9 o'clock, then the next like black level tier got in at 10, gold 11, pink 12. It was something like that. I don't quite remember the colors or the timing and everything, but last year was the first year I went with my friends, and we got in, let's say 11 o'clock, and we only paid, I think it was $35 for our ticket, which was great because we just made a fun day trip out of it, and we got to see most of the authors that we wanted to in the time frame that we had. But this year they had a VIP ticket and a VIP gold ticket and then a pink ticket, and those were the only two options that they had, and it was a lot more expensive this time around. Friends and I did decide though that we were going to go and try for the gold VIP level, and we are going to be staying overnight. The event is taking place on Friday and Saturday, and one thing that I do once I know I am going to a book event, I find a notebook, and that is where I keep all the information for that signing. So this is a cute notebook. When I went to a Polycon last year, I had a pre-order for Michelle Hercules, and this came in my pre-order package, and I thought this is perfect to use for book signing. So I put down the date, and then I write down the events that are taking place and the times. Surprisingly, this event already has the times and events listed. Usually that doesn't come out until closer to the event, but I think this year with everything being new and done differently, they probably had something already set in their mind for what they wanted the signing to look like. So I think that's why the times are out a little earlier, which is nice for me because I just like knowing, but usually that stuff won't come out until a lot closer to the event. So Friday right away in the morning we're registering. 9 a.m. is registration, and then we have the gold signing, which I think if you have the VIP pass you get the signing on Friday, and then the other pass I think gets the signing on Saturday, but the gold gets both. Don't quote me on that, look that up. I just wrote down the information for the ticket that I have. But the signing will last 4 hours. And this year I believe it's going to be in 2 different rooms, which is really nice because last year it was in one and it just was ridiculously crowded in there. Even with people being allowed in at different times, it was just nuts because it just seemed like no one left. Everyone was in there, and the really popular authors, their lines just got crazy, and then they ended up having to open doors so the line could extend out into different areas. So it's really nice to see that it's going to be in 2 different areas and just give everyone a little bit more space. But then there are going to be 2 different panel sessions, and at night it's Gold Fun in the Sun party, and it's going to be a luau, which sounds like a lot of fun. And you can also get books signed during this party, which I think is really cool because usually it's just mingle, talk to people kind of event. So it's really cool to see that you can get things signed. Now, too, everything I'm saying, it could be subject to change, as things always are. This isn't set in stone. This is just an idea of what the event's going to look like. And then at Saturday, there is going to be another signing. Then at night, a panel and a pajama party at the end of the night. So that is going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to go and try something different for this event. I also do, in my notebook that I have for the event, I write down a list of all the authors that are attending, which, yes, it can get to be a lot for those bigger events, but I just like write it down, and then I highlight the authors that I want to see, and then too, you'll see like some different highlighted colors. I started to highlight the authors that are in anthology books that I have, and I also have highlighted of different authors that are on my library Hoopla app. One thing I like to do for signings, I love seeing the authors that I already do read and love, but I also like checking out the authors that are going to be here and seeing new to me authors that I want to read. It just opens up my mind to different authors out there, and then I end up finding authors that I really love that I wouldn't have necessarily like given a chance if I didn't see them somewhere I was going to go. So I just like going through and giving different authors a try, and that's partly why I do have them highlighted if they are on my Hoopla app, because then it's free to me to give this author a try versus going out buying a book, and if I don't like it, then I'm out because I already bought the book. So it's great to find the authors on my library app for me to give them a try. I just wanted to share some of the authors I am excited to see and different ones I'm going to give a try. So first I have Fate of a Royal by Amo Jones and Megan Brandy. I have read Amo before. I was fortunate enough to meet her at, I was going to say Polycon, but it was at Book Bonanza this summer. Megan was there, I believe, but I hadn't read her yet, and I didn't meet her. The book also hadn't come out yet. I haven't read this yet. It is in my plan to read. I need to have it done before May, but I have a lot of time, which is good because, still recovering, still can't read the best right now, so I have time to read it. But yes, I've read Amo before. She writes dark, and I have given Megan a try. She is on the Hoopla app, and I read a football romance book from her. So I'm really excited to give this book a try. I really like the chapter pages too. They're really pretty. And you might see I have a post-it already sticking up from the book. I usually don't do it this early, but being stuck at home recovering, I can't do much. So what I did, I'll show you with this, is I put my name on a post-it, and then when the authors sign the book, it's just easy for them to turn to the page with the post-it, and if they do personalize, they have my name right there for them, and then they can sign on that page. So that's what the post-its are for. Then another author that I have read, well, duo author that I have read before, is Piper Rain. I have read their Green Family series, and then I have read one of their hockey romance books. So now I'm going to switch over and give the Baileys a try, and I'm excited because I really loved the Green family, and I'm excited to dive into another family. And I do have some of their books behind me right there. I have another hockey one. I found that one at a rummage for 50 cents. I couldn't believe it, so I was really excited. So I'm going to be reading the Baileys and reading some more of their hockey. Again, just have a post-it already set to go. And they are also on Hoopla. So if you want to give Piper Reign a try, that is 2 authors. And yeah, I would definitely recommend giving them a try because I think they have some good books. Another author I'm excited to see is A.L. Jackson. Her books are actually like right at the cutoff above me there. But all the books I have of hers are signed right now. I haven't read them all, but they are all signed. And I think before I go, I want to read the rest of the Redemption Hill series. I've only read book 1, Give Me a Reason. The guy, Trent, was in a gang affiliated with like bad stuff. And it kind of comes back and haunts him a little bit. And he meets a kindergarten teacher, his son's teacher, and it is a really, really, really good book. I gave it 5 stars. And I know the other 2, there's 4 books in the series. The next 2 have to do with his 2 brothers, but I can't remember what the 4th book is about. But I think I want to read those before Wild and Windy come up. And I think since I have nothing else for A.L. Jackson to sign, that might be a pre-order author for me. Speaking of pre-orders for signings, lots of authors, not all, but lots of authors will have pre-orders because they're traveling just like us, and they can't bring, especially if they're traveling on a plane, millions of books with them to sell at the signing because it becomes costly. So they try to do pre-orders for people so they can gauge what they need to bring, and it just works out a lot easier. And what has become a thing at signings now is a lot of authors are coming out with exclusive editions of their books that they only give out at signings. Not give out, I mean you buy them, but they're only sold. That's the word I'm looking for. They're only sold at signings. And I think that is awesome, but that is also bad because they take your money. It is so cool that they have these special editions available, but then yeah, it's just, you know, more money you're investing in these awesome things. So that's what I mean by it's good and amazing, but also bad. Which leads me into an author. I'll just lead right into her because this is perfect. Coralie June. She was a new to me author, but she was on my Hoopla app, and I've already given 2 of her books a try. They were darker, in that like mafia aspect in there, a lot of crazy stuff going on. It was Wrath and Malice, or maybe it was Malice and Wrath. Sorry, I'm not remembering the order right now. But there's a 3rd book as well. I haven't gotten into that one yet, but she has these exclusive signing editions of the book that are super cute. Well, I say they are, but so far there's only been 1 cover released, and I need it. It is super cute. I'll put a picture somewhere in here. But I need it, and it is a really good price for all 3 of them. And that's the good thing about pre-orders too. Usually there will be some kind of deal for the books if you pre-order them versus if you just pick them up there at the table as well. So it never hurts to check out the pre-order form. Another author that is going to be new to me, but I'm excited to read, is Callie Mele. Sorry if I am saying your name wrong, but I will learn it before May. And the reason that this one caught my eye is it is hockey, and you'll hear me say it a lot. I love a good hockey romance, and this cover is really pretty too. I like this softer purple, but this is the first book I actually got in a like book exchange that I did with someone, so I was excited to get this and to give her a try. Another author I am going to give a try is Gianna Darling. This may be book 2 or 3. I own books 2 and 3. I don't remember which one is which. The other one is like right there, and I need to get book 1, but I have heard great things about Gianna, and from other people on YouTube. I believe Jess from Peace Love Books talks about Gianna and meeting her and liking her books, and they were half price books, and I'm just like, I know she's going to be at some signings I'm going to. I want to pick them up and give her a try. And two, when I'm referring to Hoopla here, guys, it is pretty much for authors who have audio books and not a big ebook reader. There are some of these authors that are on there with ebooks. I just didn't mark it. I marked the new to me authors that have audiobooks. And speaking of that, one of the authors that does have more ebooks versus audiobooks is Sapphire Knight, but I found this for a really good deal at my half price books, and this may be, why do I want to say book 7? I don't know. This is, I think, further down the line in the series, but it was such a good deal. I did not care, so I picked it up because I knew she was an author that was going to be at Wild and Windy, and I want to give this author a try. Another author that I'm really excited to see is Natasha Madison. I have, hard to tell, but above this cat, I have one of her books up there. I only own one book by Natasha. Now, I met Natasha at ApollyCon this last year. Was it this last year? 2 years ago? 2 years ago. And I was just getting in line with my friends. She might have been in an anthology. That might have been why I was in the line with them. I don't quite remember. But at that point, I had not read Natasha. And now I have read a lot of Natasha's hockey books. The series, I think it's the This Is series, because it's like This Is Love, This Is, and that's what all the books start with. And then I read her Made For Us series. Well, not the whole series, but I read a good chunk of those books, and I loved them. So now I want to expand into Natasha's books, and I'm really excited to give more of Natasha's books a try. And then I think she will end up being a pre-order author, so I hope she has a pre-order form. Chantel Tessier is going to be at Wild and Windy, and she's an author that has always been on my radar. I just have never gone and got one of her books, and I love some of the covers that she has for her books, and I'm just excited to give her a try because I've heard really good things about her. Veronica Eden is another author that I would like to see. I think her book, yes, right here, Iced Out, behind me is a hockey book. I won it at ApollyCon last year, and again, the theme, hockey. So I have given some more of her other books a try that have been on Hoopla, so I'm excited to see her again. Now, being like a fan versus just winning something from her now, I'm excited because I have actually read her books, so I can talk about them with her when I meet her or when I see her again. Liz Tomford is another author I gave a try. Her books, they're also on Libby, and that is a library app as well. And that was a sports romance. I read the first one, Mile High, so now I'm going to continue on to Bright Move. That one isn't on the apps, but find the book and I'll read it that way. Jennifer Suvik, sorry, I think I'm saying that wrong. She is another sports author that I have already given a try because she's been on the Hoopla app. So now I want to dive a little deeper and see what else she writes, because I did enjoy the hockey books. It was quite cool because when I did read her books, hers came in a bundle. So you got one checkout, but you got 3 books. My library only lets you on Hoopla check out 4 books per month. I know other libraries, like there was a library in Vegas that let you check out 10 books a month on Hoopla. So it was so cool that it was a 3-for-1 deal to check out. Libby, I think, lets you do 10 at a time for my library. Allie Siz is an author I met last year at Wild and Windy. I had only read a novella of hers, but she writes, can you guess? Hockey! So I am going to read more of her hockey series. She was so awesome and nice when I met her, so I'm excited to hopefully get to go by her table again. The last author that I'm going to talk about is Lucy Lennox. I met her at Book Bonanza just because I had an anthology book for her to sign. I hadn't read anything of hers before, but she was so nice when I met her, and she does have some books on my Hoopla app, so I want to give her a try because I had a really nice conversation with her when I met her at Book Bonanza, and that was not even like reading any of her stuff. So I definitely want to give her a try before May. There you have it. That's some of the stuff I want to do before May comes rolling along. I have a long list of books for these different authors that I want to read. I'm excited to give some of these new to me authors a chance, and hopefully they're authors that are going to become like forever authors for me that I'm going to love and keep reading. I will make a video closer to the event of prep for a book signing, like the post-it notes that I have in the books and other like tips and tricks for a signing. But let me know down below if you are going to the signing and if there are any books that you would recommend for some of the authors that I did talk about, or some of the authors that I didn't talk about that you think I should give a try before I go to the signing. And even if you're not going to the signing, any of these authors that I talked about, if there's a book that you would recommend that I read by them, please just let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.